Hey YouTube, Rich McCall Serpents, how's it going? I got a really cool clutch to pull today. It's pied by Bongo Cinnamon, maybe sort of, might just be hat pied. We're gonna find out though, one way or the other in about 60 days. All right, let's go. Just a fast recap of the whole story. The guy you're looking at, this is a Bongo Cinnamon that I bought as a full adult breeder a couple years ago. And when I got him back to my place, you know, sometimes when you buy an adult, they don't always transition well. And he was eating, but he didn't want to breed. I put him in with a female, and he'd be in the far corner hiding away like that sixth grader at the dance was, right? So, you know, that was a little disappointing for a year or two. And then last year, he finally locked up for me. And because he decided he wanted to participate, I scrambled around and I found some girls for him to be with, thinking at least I could replace him with another male that was a little bit more, you know, into the whole thing, right? So one of the girls that I gave him a chance at was a het-pied female. And she was a 8-year-old het-pied that had never produced any eggs for me. And luck would have it, she gave me a bunch of eggs, and they definitely were from him. There was all kinds, there was Bongos and Bongo Cinnamons in there. And there were 2 pieds. Now, she had been with other pieds. There was a chance that this was a mixed male clutch. Okay, so there is that chance. But they produced this odd holdback pied that I've got, and it just made me wonder if that was a Bongo pied. So I put this guy with a pied female that I have, and she's a virgin. This is the first clutch she's ever had. So 100%, this is just him who made these. And so in 60 days, we'll be able to find out what we've got. At the very least, I'll have made Bongos and Bongo Cinnamons that are het for pied. But who knows? Maybe I'll get myself some pies, and then we'll know for sure if that's a Bongo pied or not. I'll show you that Bongo pied, possible Bongo pied, I should say, real fast too. Hold on one second. So this is the pied that I made last year. I think it's possibly a Bongo pied. There's the little goblin face. And one of the things I'm noticing is she seems to be getting darker as she gets older. Let's get that little head out. Come here, buddy. There's our head. So come to your own conclusions. I won't be offended if you disagree with me. And plus, like I said, in 60 days, we hopefully will have an answer one way or the other about the possibility of this being a Bongo pied or not. All right. There she is, coiled up right there. That's nesting behavior. If you haven't seen that before, they'll move all the substrate away. That's right over the hot spot in the back there. That's where she was sitting at. Cool, huh? I'm going to go ahead and pull the eggs off. If you're ever worried about getting bit, pulling eggs off, come from this side. Just come from the other side. She's going to coil up. She's a gentle, so I'm not worried about her at all. I'm going to pull her up. Pull that tail out. She wants to squish it way down and under. Just go like that. So this is the first time mama. And gorgeous, isn't she? So let's show your little head off there, buddy. There's your head. Say, hey, Bubba. And so what I'm going to do right now is I have a completely clean, brand new bin for her to go into with fresh water and fresh substrate. And I'll go ahead and put her in that, and that way there will be no smell from her eggs except for her. And I don't usually wash my snakes. I know some people do. In probably like a day or two, she'll just eat. Almost always that happens. For sure within a week, they almost always eat and stuff. So there she is. Looks pretty empty. And you can tell also, if you look there, see how it looks all concave? That's how you can tell. There's no bulge right here. That means that she's done. She's laid what she's going to lay. So, all right, there's mama. There's your view of the eggs. All right, so 3, 6, 7 eggs. Not bad for a first-time mama. And I've got a light, flashlight. Turn off the overhead light. You don't really need to turn the overhead light. There's veins there, if you can see those here. And definitely veins there. Veins there. Lots of veins. Got veins, more veins. Excellent, all kinds of veins everywhere. Nice. Good, pick those up. Notice there's some substrate on there. I'll get that off if I can. I'm not going to sweat it. If it doesn't come off, I'll just leave it. That was just dust, basically. This is how I do this. I've done this in other videos. I've shown how I do this. It's just a Sterilite tub. And actually, I've had these for years. The ones that, see the tape on the end there? Originally, I put holes in the edge to help ventilate these. But it turned out these Sterilite tubs really aren't that airtight in the first place, so you really don't need to put the holes in this kind of a tub. So now I just cover them in tape for now, and later I'll pull that off, but you really don't need to do that. And then I use, that's fluorescent light diffuser, cut into 2 sheets when it's thin. If I could have bought thicker stuff, I would have gone with 1 sheet, but it's thin. So I went with 2 down there, and I don't break my eggs apart. If this was a big pile, if there was more eggs on top, I would pull them off, but I'm not going to pull these out. They're going to be just fine. And then this is called the substrate. This water method, if you've never heard of this before. This is water that was in the, it actually was in the incubator earlier. Now it's probably about 82 degrees, but definitely it's not refrigerator cold. You don't want to do that, but it's room temperature for the snake room, 80-degree water. I'm going to put about half this bottle in there. And what I'm doing is I'm covering the bottom layer of that diffuser. Let's see. To that first layer there. And that will allow the evaporation at the end to not be too hardcore. A little bit more in. It's going to end up, that's how I tell. It's about that much water will be left in the bottle, and that's enough water. Pick it up, give it a second to equalize. That's it, that's all I do. Now I'm going to put some saran wrap on top. I'm using Glad Press and Seal. I've used all the different brands of this stuff. Press and Seal works pretty good. And then, boom, that was too much. I got over ambitious and took off way too much saran wrap, but nice and straight, run your finger down. Now it's airtight, and I'll keep it airtight for about 40 days. And like I said, I got too much here, so I'm just gonna curl it back on top because it just is. All right, here's the information that I use on the top. It's Pied by Bongo. Now, I only did 1 Pied by Bongo clutch. I've got a whole lot of pieds, so if I had done more than 1 Pied by Bongo clutch, I would differentiate which pied this is. But since I only did the 1, I know exactly which pied it is. I don't have to think about it. And the 7/10/20, that's today. So 60 days from now is 9/8/20. 40 days from now is 8/19. And 40 days is when I pull the plastic wrap off. So it'll be airtight for the first 40 days. Day 55 is 9/3/55. Now, I do not get pips on day 55. I put day 55 on there purely so I know in my own head it's time to start watching this clutch of eggs for hatching. I have my incubator set at 87 degrees, and it's really consistent, 87 to 87.5, anywhere in that incubator, top to bottom, right to left at any one time. And I get a very consistent day 60 for the first pip. And I don't cut my eggs. I let them come out naturally. I got no problem with cutting eggs. It's just, I just don't do it. And the thing about hatching of eggs, it's like a 2-day process. From the first time you see a slit in an egg till all the snakes come out of the eggs, it's usually about 2 days. It's not a fast process at all, quite frankly. And that's it. That's what I do. Seal that up, and I'll just put this in the incubator. And that little click. There we go. The eggs are in that pile. They're not going to roll. They'll be fine. And so we'll see what happens, huh? Pied by Bongo. So either I've made a bunch of Bongo and Bongo cinnamons that are het pied, but cross your fingers if that snake is het pied. we'll know one way or the other, because this is 7 eggs is good enough to know a het, usually. I mean, it's not 100%, of course. It's still a het. But 7 eggs is a pretty good odds. So even if I don't get a bongo pied, like if I get any kind of a pied at all, that'll mean that that snake was het pied. Like I said, this was a virgin snake that I produced myself, so 100% I know it's a virgin. And there was no other males involved whatsoever. All right, YouTube, that was pretty awesome. I'll talk to you.